Want to go, pretty boy?
Two minutes by yourself and you feel shame, you know, and then you get free.
The only thing better than a glass of beer is tea with Miss McGill.
And welcome to the Fourth Line Voice Podcast. My name is Darren. Thank you very much for tuning in. Episode 472 of The Big Show. Some enforcer-based podcasting coming at you, brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. How's everybody doing out there? Yes, another Saturday night's all right for fighting. Here we go, folks. Street lights are on, so I'm at home in my basement yelling at my microphone. I was yelling at my microphone last night for the live stream, but nobody heard me. That was the dead stream. What happened? Where were you guys? Friday, I said Friday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern. That's PM, not AM. Maybe that's what you guys were doing. You thought it was in the morning. 9 PM Eastern. Fourth Line Voice, my YouTube channel. Live streaming, man. I'm spinning all the hits. Some great minor league, junior fights. Oh, nothing but the best. Yeah. Yeah, some of the regulars showed up. Man, Yuka was there before his shift at work. 6 a.m. he's in there. Got Paul from the UK. He's out there 3:30 in the morning. He's tuning in. Where are the North American guys? You know, I thought my dedicated listeners here at the Fourth Line Voice, I'm like, oh, it's going to be standing room only for this live stream. Nothing. My worst attended one out of the 5 I've done so far. A little disappointed, folks. I'm not going to say I'm not afraid to say I'm a little disappointed in you folks. I thought you'd support old Darren here in my live stream endeavors on YouTube. Do I have to play some Jack-Eye fights? Is that what I have to do? You got to play Nicolas Delorier, man. They're tougher now. Do I have to do that? Nerds. I see Jack-Eye Light got dropped there by Delorier. Actually, I don't think he was dropped. I think he kind of fell over, but whatever. We're gonna hang our hat on it. It was a KO. I can't believe Wi-Fi didn't avenge him. Oh yeah, I always laugh like Wi-Fi's fucking some killer or something. Yeah, the Jack-Eye, the Bruised Brothers of Montreal. Yeah. Oh boy. The desperation fight fans will cling to these days. Yeah, there's been a lot of. It's not the who's who, it's the who's that fight in the preseason. Has Lucic done anything yet? I don't even think he's played yet with the Blues. I see Alex Gallant got sent down to the American League. Not that that's a surprise, but hoping them fucking clowns in Calgary actually give him a game already, like he hasn't earned it. I think Douglas there. I don't know, Jay was yapping. He's a big Douglas fan. Is it Curtis Douglas? He's still hanging in there. I think Onyebuchi got sent down. Something like that. Who's your mama? Onyebuchi? I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not watching, so it doesn't matter to me. Everybody getting excited in Philadelphia. They have some UFC guy training their fighters. You know, I'm like, why don't you just get Riley Cote to do it? He actually did it. You had Rocky Thompson as your assistant coach last year, one of the toughest guys ever, but they go get some UFC guy that can't skate. I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna say I was in a salty mood. I'm not in a salty mood. I will say I do have a My Week on the Internet segment that I got salty about. But anyway, we're going to open some hockey cards. I'm going to do my week on the internet. Oh, yeah, I had some dork debating with me about college hockey. Once again, as I always say, and it seems that everything in life, yeah, we don't listen to experts. We'll, like I said, everyone drives 1,000,000 miles, so everyone's a mechanic now. Yeah, everyone, you go on Facebook. I have more doctors and lawyers apparently in my Facebook page. Some guys are both doctors and lawyers if you read their Facebook posts. But yeah, we just shun knowledge in today's society. It's whoever has the loudest voice is who we're going to listen to. So we'll have that shit show coming up here. A little Ice Wars update, YouTube live stream. I already bitched about that. But seriously, folks, my YouTube channel, Fourth Line Voice. Check it out. Friday nights, Fighting Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Come check it out. Join the live stream. Join the chat. Crack some beers. Put on your smart TV. Watch it on your smart. You can have my giant fat head in your living room. Yeah, fuck that. That's enough to turn the milk sour. But I'll move my head off to the side. I'm a little box down in the corner, and I'll play some good fights for you. So come check it out. And somebody sent me a list, the top 10 toughest they're Capitals fans, so they thought I would get a kick out of the Washington Capitals list. It was funny, they said it to me, they were like, I heard you're a Caps fan. I'm like, what? When the fuck did I say I like the Washington Capitals? But all right, I haven't read the list yet, so whatever. Well, I'll click the link and find out with you guys, so we'll see who the toughest Washington Capitals of all time are. And we'll do all, but before we do all that, I'm going to spin some, we're going to play an ad for you. DraftKings, go and bet. Hey, football's always fun. Ugh, that office pool's going down in the shitter. We're only in week 3. But I'll hit you with this, and I'll be right back.
And now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Yeah, or else you got future bets, guys. I mean, again, the odds change all the time, but last time I looked, Lamar, Allen, plus 275. Super Bowl, Buffalo's the favorite right now, plus 400. Something to think about. New customers, this one's for you, though. You can bet just $5. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you score over $200 off the NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code THPN. That's code THPN, and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of the Boot Hills Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercials use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm a member of the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm on the original content creator side. Myself, old TR, Terry Ryan, Tales with Terry Ryan. Joel Lazito put out part 2 with Bill Armstrong. Don't call it a Michigan, I'm telling you. You call it a Michigan around Joe, he'll take matters into his own hands. But I'm glad to see Joe's back. Like I said, it's better than his front. But he's back in business. Tremendous back catalog, as I always say. Asham, Strudwick, Bolton, on and on. Joe's done some great stuff over the years. And Joe, I know he's listening. I was actually spinning your Thunder DVD the other night. I had to look up a fight. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Wagner's? Can't remember what fight it was now. Anyway, tremendous job. Joe put together some great stuff back in the day. Back in the old VHS days. Joe and I are that old. We can go back and remember those days fondly. Joe's older than I am, so I was going to say he goes back to Beta. Although I do remember Beta. Actually, it's a shame that Beta lost the format war. It was a better pitcher. But do you know why Beta lost the format war, folks? Because the porn industry in California decided to go with VHS because it was cheaper. So that is why Beta lost. Blame it on the porn. But anyway, where was I going with this? I don't know. It's actually kind of disturbing. I'm talking about Lazito and porn. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He made an amateur short. Yeah, Length from Long Island. I think that's what it was called, something like that. But it definitely had to be a short movie. Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying? It's probably actually really distracting as I sit here and tap. I notice you get... Does everybody notice they ever hear that? You talk about, yeah, shit, people think I'm recording a porn over here while that's going on. I noticed that somebody said, what is that noise all the time? It's either that one or it's this one. Because I have my notepad beside me and my pen. So I'm either tapping the pen or I'm moving the notepad back and forth. And I didn't realize that I forgot it actually gets picked up by the microphone. So, yeah, so that, that back and forth you're hearing, yeah, it's my notepad. Yeah. I've become distracted now. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Joe's short movie. Yeah. Anyway, some would say a coming attraction, but anyway, but Joe does a great job. Coliseum Chronicles, check it out. And my other venture that I do with Jay and Alec, we're bi-weekly right now. We're going to turn into weekly here in a couple weeks. The Bruised and Battered podcast, our latest episode, is out with AJ Schlepp. Of course, you might know that name as he fought in Edmonton Ice Wars, the main event versus Will Laporte. He is signed and he is on his way. He is now in Monroe, Louisiana. My boy Michael out there, who's down in Louisiana. My eyes and ears in the Fourth Line Voice and Bruised and Battered Louisiana department sent me word that he was actually hanging out with Schlepp last night. Said he's a good kid and looking forward to it. But yeah, I look forward to seeing how he does in the pro game. 7 feet tall, man. He's going to put the hurt on somebody, I can tell you right now. But Bruised and Battered, tremendous. Wow. It's a decent podcast. I was going to say tremendous podcast. It's a decent podcast. But check it out. It's a current look at minor league tough hockey. And, obviously a little slow going right now with the season. But once the season kicks off and gets going, we'll have a lot to talk about. So come check that out. Please follow us on the social media. Facebook, Instagram, the IG, as the kids say. I was going to say Twitter, but Twitter sucks. Don't even bother with Twitter. But yeah, that Fourth Line Voice. And with Buckets Off Apparel, next week, merchandise drops. That's right, folks. I finally have merchandise. Fourth Line Voice is in their shop. The Bruised and Battered show is in their shop. As well as, like I said, they do player merchandise with different minor league players from the Federal League, Southern Pro, East Coast, American League, and the really cool thing that Brock and Brittany are doing is all the proceeds go to those players. So there we go, folks. Good people, and the players have a hand in making the shirts. They come up with some designs and stuff, and I think this will be a real big... I know they put a lot of time and they put some money into it, and I know... But I think this is going to be really big. So Buckets Off Apparel, and please... support the show, Fourth Line Voice. Also support the Bruised and Battered show with some merch. And I think, like I said, I think we got cool shit. So, yeah, check it out. I will put the link in the description. Well, not this week because obviously the store hasn't opened yet. But if you come back and you hear my voice next week, I'll most likely have the link in the description. So, and we're going to work on like a promo code, kind of a discount thing too, to get things going. We're looking to do that as well. So. But yes, we will get that going. But you know what I should get going? Let's get this show on the road here. Let's open these hockey cards first. 1991-92 Pro Set. Oh, the good old Pro Set. Yes, I got these from Dollarama. I was there tonight. Here we go. Well, we're going to lead off with Brian Bellows of the Minnesota North Stars. Glenn Anderson. Mark Tenorti. There's a salty old blue liner, the Tin Man. Yeah, he could put it down, man. And I always say with Tenorti, it was always really weird. But I was young. Like, if this was 1991 when I opened this pack, I wouldn't have been. I'd be like Tenorti. Ugh. But going back and look at it, I have no idea why I don't like him. I do now. But back then, I don't know. Stefan Richer. Yep. Kelly Miller. Paul McDermott. Oh, I got to put that one on the side for William. One of the hardest hitters. I was a big, huge Paul McDermott of the Jets fan. Dean Evison. All-star Gary Galley. All-star Luc Robitaille. Benoit Hogue. One of the fastest men in NHL hockey. Old Patty Waugh. Ed Belfour. Oh, Craig Janney. Craig Janney was a solid player, but fuck, this guy was, yeah. Fuck, he was softer than puppy shit. Dave Poulin and Brett Hull. Brett Hull, not a bad player. There you go. Oh yeah, I got this pack over here. I forgot about this. This is another pack I got actually at Dollarama the other day, but it was a 21-22 Upper Deck. Yeah, this should be exciting. Oh, here we go. How many cards in a pack? 8 cards in a pack. All right. Let me get the latest Seattle Kraken player. This is always exciting to open up these hockey cards on a audio podcast. Oh, on the top, hey, you know what? The top card, Curtis McDermott. That's not bad. That's okay. Duncan Keith, Cam Atkinson, Young Guns. Who's my young gun? Some guy for the Knights. Daniel Moranov. Well, whoever you are. Anton Stallman, Evander Kane. Oh, Antti Rentna, Zach Sanford. Well, this is edge of my seat here. Well, I got Curtis McDermott, so that's cool. Oh, he was all right. Recycling. There we go. William, I got my Jets packs right here. I'm just gonna randomly send these to William someday, and then I want him to. Why do I have these cards over here? This is pretty funny. Kimby Daniels. There we go. Oh, sorry, folks. Hold on. It's a real professional podcast here. I dropped my elastic band. Okay. Well, now that exciting portion of the show is wrapped up, tonight, because I had to get gas, because of course I got to work tomorrow morning, and in the town I live in, the gas station's not open. Like, the gas stations aren't open when I leave at like 5:30 in the morning. So I got gas tonight. And John, I know you're listening. John knows my pet peeve on this, although I bitched about this on the show before. I back it out tonight. My friggin' neighbor still got his roll-out garbage can sitting on the side, sitting out in the road, right along curbside. Garbage pickup was on Thursday. Friggin' can's still sitting there, and he's not out of town. They got 3 kids that live there. Like I was saying, I could imagine. Of course, I came home after I was bitching to the wife about the fucking can out front. And she just, rolls her eyes. But I'm like, God, I sound so old. But seriously, I just think back to when I was a kid. Like, we had the big garbage cans in the back alley. Like, we didn't have the rollout cans. We just had the huge can in the alley. But I could imagine if my brother and I, either of us, had this, we come home from school or wherever we come home from, and just walked right past the can after it had been dumped out in the road and just walked inside. My old man, when he got home from work, would have just come in and be like, what are you two dipshits doing? Like, one of you goofs, go back out there, put your shoes on, and go drag that back to the backyard. Well, and that's the thing. He wouldn't even have to say it, because we would do it. We wouldn't have to be told to do that. It's like if it snowed in the afternoon and we came home when we got home from school, we shoveled. That's the first thing we did before we even went inside. Is you grabbed the shovel and you cleaned off the driveway and the stairs. There was no I'll do it later. Like, no, there was no doing it later. You were doing it now. Like, my parents weren't working 40 hours and then coming home and shoveling and mowing the lawn and all that shit. Like, no. My brother and I were doing that shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. But here, I look out, all the parents are out there mowing the lawns, and like, these kids are just, I don't know. And I mean, we got some young ones, 5, 6, I'm not talking about them. But I'm like, once your kid get 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, yeah, they can mow the lawn and shovel and bring the garbage can in. Like, what are we doing here? Anyway, that's my rant. Now my show's over. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Ice Wars, October 10th in Florida. It is going to be live on pay-per-view. I'm going to have I've interviewed a couple of the fighters. Those will be coming up on Fight Week, as you always know. I like to do Fight Week leading up to the events. So I think about October, because October 10th is a Friday, but I think probably about October 2nd or 3rd, I'm going to start putting out episodes of the fighters. And of course, Jay and Alec and I, maybe not Alec, he's got school, but we'll see how his schedule goes. But Jay and I for sure will do the preview show like we always do for the events. So it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it goes. It is on real ice this time, and it is bare knuckle. So no more MMA gloves. It's bare knuckle. Apparently, the helmets I'm now hearing are going to be like the padded helmets. I think kind of like what the NFL guys wear. I mean, so I think that'll kind of look goofy as shit. But I mean, I'm happy with the guys. They're not going to break their hands on the helmets, but. I don't get the whole bare knuckle thing anyway. I had no problem with them wearing MMA gloves. I was just happy it was on. I said, just put it on real ice, but keep the MMA gloves on. You can punch harder with MMA gloves on anyway. So the fights will be better. But I don't know. These guys, there's going to be a lot of guys getting cut up, and there's going to be hand injuries and shit. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Ice Wars October 10th at the Amarant Arena in Florida. Yes, that is where the Florida Panthers play. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're biting, I don't know what the attendance is going to be like. I mean, you had the last event was at the River Creek Casino in Edmonton. So now you're going to the Florida Arena. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I've heard ticket sales are not great right now. So, I don't know. You're about 2 weeks out, so they better get selling. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I just saw an article. Somebody had sent Matthew Olivier, and his dad's name was Simon, and I did not know. Simon Olivier put up like 300 minutes with the Oklahoma City Blazers in the 90s in the Central League. And then he ended up playing, he was a defenseman, not a bad player, in the Central League and stuff. And then he actually played a few years in the LNAH with Tetford and St. George. And he wasn't a big fighter, but, decent player. But, Simon Olivier. I didn't know that was Matthew Olivier's dad. There we go. I learned something today. There we go. Oh, yes, my week on the internet. Yeah, so
Neutral zone drop.
where I will dig up the screenshots here. Okay, old Dave. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of... Although I will say, we weren't swearing at each other and stuff. It was back and forth, but Dave... Dave didn't surprise me. We'll put it that way. And it's like I said earlier how we shun knowledge in this day and age. But anyway, his article, it was the NHL is more chippy than the college game, which throws your argument right out the window. He's saying this to somebody else. Plus, as long as the faces are protected by a cage or full shield, high sticking really isn't as big of a deal as it is when the faces are stupidly left vulnerable to catastrophic injury. So I replied to him. I said, the NHL isn't anywhere near as chippy as college. NHL hockey in 2025 is softer than a Disney matinee. Any player who has played both will tell you college hockey is the dirtiest hockey they have ever played because of those stupid cages. And of course, he replies to me immediately, "You are so incredibly misinformed." NCAA hockey is the cleanest version of the game, and there is nothing stupid about cages. On the contrary, hating cages is stupid. So I just put LOL. Yes, clueless. I guess every guy on my podcast that I've interviewed is clueless. Also, hold on. I'll text my brother who played Junior A in Canada and then went on to be a 3-time All-American in college. I'll tell him he is misinformed and the fan in the stand knows best. He gets it. Oh, I get it. You and the guests on your podcast hate the concept of players using proper protective gear. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. So I replied, well, you certainly are entitled to your opinion. I'm just telling you, players that actually played and went through it disagree with everything you're saying. Oh, of course. And we go back and forth. And why will the players disagree with me? Because of peer pressure to follow generations of macho stupidity? That's why, after Sid lost roughly 25% of a season a number of years ago due to a broken jaw that should have been the end of said macho stupidity right then and there. If he was wearing a cage, his jaw would not have been broken and he wouldn't have missed all those games. I said, yeah, spoken like someone who has never played at the high level. Full cages and no fighting equals zero accountability, so guys play reckless. Conversation doesn't begin and end with fans, LOL. The conversation begins and ends with the experts, the players. And they say full cages are ridiculous. End of story. Oop. What a ridiculous take. I stand firmly behind my previous comment, which is 1,000 times more convincing than your lame attempt at cheerleading the macho stupidity. You're obviously ignoring the fact that players are under peer pressure to continue the macho stupidity. The league office and team owners have to step up and be the adults in the room. No, I won't. Okay, I'll go through this first and then we'll... Again, I'll listen to the expert, not the fan. If you want to validate your ignorance using 5-cent psychology, have at it. And after being called on it, he replies to me, and after being called out on it twice now, you're still refusing to acknowledge the peer pressure part of it. And how like the children, the players need an adult in the room to make the responsible choice for them, and they're not mature enough to make it on their own. Players being gaslighted by decades of macho stupidity don't know any better than to go along with it. The players don't want full cages, dude. It's that simple. These are grown adults. Stop with the big brother shit. It's embarrassing. Again, again, good English, Darren. Again, you were told the players don't agree with your statement and you have to act you act all righteous and play white knight here to save the children. Holy shit, is it ever lame. Pro hockey is never going to go to full cages. You can cry all you want. Not sure why you care. Yeah, they don't want them. You and I both understand that, but out of the two of us, I'm the only one who understands why they don't want them. You're oblivious to the gaslighting and peer pressure that continue the decades-long tradition of macho stupidity. He really likes hitting that macho stupidity thing. Sometimes the adult in the room has to be the voice of reason and say, you're going to have to do this, and I don't care if you like it. I said, no, not proven wrong, just not listened to. With each added level of perceived safety, they have just made the game more dangerous. Again, you and the rest of the White Knights think you're saving everyone from themselves. Only thing you have done is create more damage. He said, and then of course he replied, each added level of safety has made the game less dangerous. To suggest otherwise is as dumb as insisting the grass is blue and the sky is green. Just admit already that you're the one of those jackasses who gets off seeing gory facial injuries. There is no other explanation for your absurd position on this topic. I told him, I said, you are the perfect mixture of ignorance and arrogance. You should be a writer for the Hockey News. You'd fit in wonderfully. His reply to me, what do you think he said? The Hockey News is a wonderful publication. I replied back, oh, you do a wonderful job bouncing around the internet parroting their message. You should apply. I would love to, but I really don't have. I have no credentials to consider myself qualified. For the record, the Hockey News is far more credible than you and me combined. So I replied, just because you've driven 1,000,000 miles, that doesn't make you a mechanic. And he goes, I agree. That's sort of what I was implying when I said I don't have the credentials to write for the Hockey News. I said, well, that's my point. None of them played anywhere either. Oh, and then of course, playing hockey and journalism are just two entirely different sets of skills. Just because somebody played the game does not make them automatically qualified to cover it as a member of the media. And I'm pretty sure I recall reading somewhere that Adam Protu played, not professionally, but up to a certain point, I think he played. But I can't say I know that for a fact. That's just what I read once. At the end of the day, it really makes no difference one way or the other. As a professional media member that has many years of experience covering the game, he is more than qualified. The jockracy of thinking that only ex-players are qualified to have an opinion is a joke of epic proportions. I said, we've already established everyone has an opinion. But once again, without actually doing it, media or anyone else who didn't play at an elite level, it is just guessing. I'll trust the player's opinion on things like how to run a power play or penalty kill, but they are not experts on safety and suggest is pure lunacy. Of course, that's what I just put, last word. So, because he would just go on and on and on. So, this was not resolved, but I was just saying, these are the back and forths. And it was so funny when he brought up the hockey news, because I'm like, I could tell he was parroting the hockey news, because this is exactly what that Adam Protu, another fucking loser, would say. Yeah, the players need to be saved from themselves. Like I said, I love these white knights that go around and act like they're going to be the safety of everything. This proves my point of how ignorant you are, because you don't know what you're talking about. No, in their rush to make the game safer, and more exciting, goals, faster. Well, you've made the equipment harder. You've taken out center ice. Defensemen can't hold anybody up, so these guys could take full runs at each other. No one's fighting. Or there's no one to really be scared of. So, and again, this is where this leads into this other bullshit. Hits always lead to fights. Well, they don't, but they've led you to, again, that is the common, misconception that everybody loves to lead with. Like I said, you had multiple teams with single fighting majors last year. So apparently no one got hit on their team. So, believe me, you could run around and whack the Leafs all you want. No one's fighting you. So, no, hits don't lead to fights. Now, again, am I saying everything is absolute? No. Obviously, a guy has been hit and then there's a fight after. That has happened before. But this idea that it happens every time, no, it doesn't. Now, despite the announcers will cry about that, and then, of course, again, these people that watch these fight clips just parrot whatever the announcers say because they actually have no original thought of their own. Just like old David here, who has no original thought of his own because he doesn't know. You're a couch jockey. Like I said, you're going to argue with the players. Like I said, I've had multiple players on here telling me college hockey is the dirtiest hockey they've ever played. My brother has said it to me on numerous occasions. But yet, in David's mind, they have no clue. They've just been gaslighted to say that. No, my brother's got the concussions to prove it. Just like everyone else. Like, you buffoon. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's what you can always tell, because when you take fighting out, or in this case, nowadays they've neutered it, so nobody really fights anymore either. Yeah, the hockey is as dirty as ever because it's consequence-free hockey. But again, these buffoons that have never played, and like I said, they just try to act so fucking righteous. It's embarrassing. Like, we need to save the players to themselves. And it's like, in the 70s, they didn't want to wear helmets, but they did now. And we got them to do it. Well, we got them to do that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the game never got faster. The equipment never got harder. The players never got bigger. Like if you said today, you told the players, you could play helmetless. Don't worry. We're getting rid of all that. You think anybody would actually go helmetless? No. You could do it back then because the sticks were barely curved. They couldn't even raise the puck. And again, go look at elbow pads from the 80s and 90s and go look at elbow pads now. Go look at the shoulder pads. Again, dummy from his couch wouldn't know anything that I'm talking about right now. He has never put on a pair of shoulder pads, elbow pads in a day in his life. I'm sure if he was in a fucking locker room, he'd be whistling Stranger in Paradise. So, clueless. So, Dave, you're embarrassing, but you're the walking epitome of the hockey news. Walking, talking. Yeah, and like I said, the hockey news, no, that's the problem with the hockey. They can write on stats, and this guy had this many goals, and I think he'll be good. Yeah, it's opinion. There's nothing, everyone's entitled to their opinion, as I've said. But without knowledge, your opinion is just guessing. So, but then so when a player tells you, someone that's actually done it, you just dismiss them as, and that's the thing. As soon as they don't agree, that's the same thing these writers love to do. The Damien Coxes and everyone else. I've had this argument with Damien Cox online and the other buffoon that writes for the Globe and Mail. What's his name? Who gives a fuck what his name is? Whatever. As soon as that you tell them that the players don't agree with them, or the players, they make a comment and the players disagree. They're just saying that because it's macho stupidity and gaslighting, and they don't know any different. Well, no, I'm sure they do. They have opinions. They're coming from a place of knowledge, and they're telling you. Like I said, the players' union does the the opinion poll every year about fighting in hockey. It's like 98% say yes. It's all, it's all peer pressure and all that. It's not peer pressure, because most of the 98% of them know they're never going to get into a fight. Take Austin Matthews, Matthews, I love fighting. Yeah, it's great. Well, he knows he's never going to get into one. So there's no peer pressure. Half these guys will go their whole career without getting into a fight, so they don't care. You're not gaslighting them, but they just understand it, and it's just, yeah. But no, as soon as the players disagree, they're just saying that. If you get them privately, I'm sure they would say they would change their tune. Oh yeah, of course they would. I mean, your opinion, I guess whatever you can say, you're always going to win your argument if you say the other side's they're just lying. They don't really mean what they say. Oh, well, okay. I guess you could win every argument by saying that. Oh, I hear what you're saying, but you don't really mean that. You're lying. Yeah, peer pressure, that's why you're saying it. Okay. Anyway, I thought I would share my week on the internet with you. Yeah, this is what I do in my spare time, folks. Yeah, I fight with couch jockeys from North Dakota on here. I do it so you people do not have to. How's that? That's the kind of guy I am. Okay, well, we'll do this last thing, the list here. I'll click on the list. We'll open it up here. We'll see what's going on, and we'll wrap this shit show up, because this episode wasn't released. It escaped. This is from Stars and Sticks. Apparently, it's I would assume it's a Washington Capitals page. Washington Capitals top 10 toughest players of all time by Michael Mrazako, September 10th, 2021. All right, here we go. I'm discovering this list with you guys, so the Washington Capitals have their share of toughest players that would suit up. These guys are not afraid to fight, play through big hits, make the big hit, and play through the pain. These guys are fearless in what they do, and we should be grateful they're on our side. Some of these choices were easy from watching Caps in my generation. I also looked at physical players that made impacts for the Capitals before my time to cater to each and every fan reading this article. Of course, as always, with top 10 lists, we always miss one or two. Number 10, Donald Brashear. Holy shit, if Brashear's 10. All right. Hot start, folks. The president has Secret Service protecting him, yet he's just the second most important person in Washington besides Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin has reached a point of his career where he can protect himself, but back when he was a young buck, the Caps signed Brashear and gave him the task of protecting the young star. If anyone was to mess with Ovi, they would have to go through the Donald. Brashear's first season in Washington, 06-07, he racked up 156 minutes. Next year, 119, with his final season in Washington being up to 121. All right. For some reason, I don't know, maybe I've done this list before, but whatever. That's okay. We can do it again. We got new listeners, and if the list is just, the guy said it's funny, so whatever. I'm always up for, I guess we'll chew our food twice, but I'm sure it's been long enough it was probably 150 episodes ago, so I'm sure everyone's forgotten, but for some reason that opening line sounded familiar, but whatever. Number 9, Scott Stevens. Stevens brought physicality to the game at hockey ever since being an 18-year-old rookie at the Caps in 82. Hitting was a huge part of Stevens' game. That 82 season saw Brian Engblom as his defense partner. He called Stevens a man-child who had tremendous instinct right from the first day. Stevens' accolades with the Caps include making All-Rookie in 83, made an All-Star team in 88. He also played the NHL All-Star game representing the Caps in 85 and 89. He's an NHL Hall of Famer, won a Stanley Cup 3 times with the Devils. There you go. I guess that Brett Shear's 10. Number 8, Craig Berube's 8. It's a hell of a list, boy. I'm just, as I'm reading them, I'm thinking in my head. Okay, Berube's nicknamed by the Cap as the Chiefs before helping coach St. Louis to 2019 Cup. Berube was an important part of Capitals lineup who made their first appearance in the final. Berube's first season with the Caps was '93, where he had 7 goals, 7 assists, 84 games, including 305 minutes, added 189 minutes along with 6 goals and 9 assists in the 97-98 campaign while playing in all 21 playoff games that spring. Berube was never afraid to stand up for a teammate. He wasn't drafted in 86 and when he signed with the Philadelphia Flyers. Alan May recalled fondly his playing days with Berube. Chief came up when the Flyers were still the version of the Broad Street Bullies, and that went a long way. Flyer thing with being a tough teammate and sticking up for your teammates all the time and all the right reasons. It's not about you, it's about your team. That's him. That's part of his DNA as a coach and as a competitor. Well, there you go. I would think Alan May. Well, there you go. I was going to say Alan May should be on the list. Number 7, Alan May. Fan favorite among Caps fans for his gritty and hard-nosed style of play. Opponents were afraid of him for good reason. Currently, May is a pregame, postgame host on NBC Washington. Before the glitz and glamour of TV, whoever messed with Alan Mayo on the ice was in for a miserable time. Caps acquired May via the trade in the summer of '89 for the Los Angeles Kings in exchange for a 5th-round pick. May had a career-high 7 goals, 17 points in 89-90, while racking up 339 minutes of penalties. May's offensive numbers dipped the next season with just 4 goals, but he had more minutes in the sin bin with 364. His 3rd season was better offensively with 6 goals and less in the penalty box, 221. 92-93, May scored 6 goals and 10 assists, 268 minutes. 93-94 season was May's final with the Capitals before he was traded mid-season to the Dallas Stars. The pregame, postgame shows return to Capital One Arena. Be sure to stop by the broadcast and say hi to Alan May. He's definitely a good chat. I agree. May and I have gone back and forth on Twitter back in the day. Good dude. Number 6, Joe Ricci. All right. We got Ricci in front of Berube and Brashear. Interesting. All right. Joe Ricci is a defenseman who always did the dirty work, hardly got recognition. He expressed once during his playing career he's not intimidated by everyone. As a defensive defenseman, I'm not going to get a lot of points in a year, but I just can't get scored against. I take a lot of pride in defense. Just like a goal scorer does scoring goals, I do whatever it takes to not let one in. It eats me alive when I get scored against. Ricci played 515 career games with Washington, ranking 3rd plus 86. Totaled 688 penalty minutes, with the 5th most all-time in Caps defense. From 94 to 02, Ricci served as a top 4 defender. He was often used against the other team's top players because of his strength and seemingly flawless defensive positioning. He was smart and tough, although both brought inevitable injuries that slowed him. Regardless, he always played a subtle savvy that I always admired, as well as a tough physical yet clean presence. Ricci was one of those, the old salty kind of blue liner guy, no doubt about that. I'm trying to think of a Ricci fight. I mean, there's a couple. I remember Lindros pumping him with Tampa Bay, but here, hold on for a sec. Well, I went and briefly looked at his card. He had about, roughly, adding them up on hockeyfights.com, he had about 38 fights if my math was, as I added it up real quick. But I will say, he actually had some names on there, Kurt Fraser, Mark Jansen, McKenzie, Stoyanov. So I was like, now that I think about it, it's okay, I can remember these. So yeah, he wasn't afraid. That's of guys. Still, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't put him in front of Brashear and Berube, though. But all right, I'm excited at number. Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm doing this, I think I actually did this list or something similar to it. Now that I see this, number 5, Olaf Kolzig. Okay. Yes, believe it or not, a goaltender made onto this list for good reason. Playing goalie in the NHL is the world's toughest position, with all the pressure that comes with it. The toughest of them all is to suit up for the Washington Capitals was Oleg Kolzig. Led the Cups for Michael Farber wrote that Kolzig had a temper and used to be that wild thing in net. By controlling himself, he mastered others and in the turn became an elite goaltender. Didn't mean Kolzig wasn't afraid to unleash fury. One time he confronted Pittsburgh Penguins enforcer Francois Leroux in the 96 playoff meeting. In the 98 brawl with the Bruins, he was restrained by his best friend Byron Dafoe as he kept Kolzig from squaring off with Ken Belanger. Yeah, well, I could tell you, Olaf, you're lucky you didn't square off with Ken Belanger. There's a reason his wife fans and teammates called him Godzilla. yeah, I'm not even... Not that I have anything against Olaf Kolzig. I don't. Whatever. But, yeah, what are we doing? Come on. Yeah, I've done this list before. Yeah, number 4, Matt Hendricks. Okay. One of my favorite Capitals to watch in the early 2010s. He spent 3 seasons at DC, but left quite an impression. Hendricks did all the dirty work, forechecking, shot blocking, penalty killing. He did this even while playing through an injury. He once described as the injury he suffered 11, 12. He described the injury. We were in groups, and this group taking shots at one end. We're at the blue line working on our face-off. Ovechkin took a shot and missed the net a little high. No shit, he's good at that. Hit the glass and came out. We all know how hard he shoots. It ended up catching me in the ear. It wasn't direct, but when I was picking up speed on the glass, he hit me. It was kind of surprising. It felt like someone came up and hit me in the head with a bat. Stunned me. I realized I was bleeding and the pain was setting in. I knew it wasn't good. I was pretty upset. I was thinking of all the worst possible injuries I could have. I was hoping I wasn't going to be that bad. The immediate thing I did was go to the mirror and look up at it. It was pretty funny once the guys started coming in off the ice. The comments weren't too comforting. It sounds like it was a lot worse than it really was. Very next day, Hendricks played in Washington game against the Penguins. Hendricks took a hit from Penguins defender and still played the most ice time of his career. And yeah, he fought a lot too. Well, I don't have a problem with Matt Hendricks. I don't know what you mean by fought a lot, but so we have Matt Hendricks in front of Brashear, Berube, and Alan May, and Joe Ricci, and apparently Olaf Kolzig. Well, this is a hot list, I'm telling you already. I can't. What are we going to get at number 3? Rod Langway, best defense, suit up for the Capitals, tough defender, joined the Capitals, made an immediate impact, won the Norris Trophy. Langway holds a camp plus record plus minus plus 117. No other players triple digits for plus minus. He's the only one of 4 Capitals to have his sweater retired. Okay, now here talking about again. Langway. How many fights did Rod Langway have? Now, obviously, great player. He fought Berube, Warren Young, Loisel, Marsh, Langway, Ruff. Okay. So 6, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 25, 27, 28, 29, 31. So he had 31 fights in his career. And I'm sure, Mel Bridgman, Bob, he fought Nystrom, and, so he fought some tough guys along the way. I mean, I get it. And yeah, great. No one's taking away Rod Langway's accomplishments. He was obviously a great player and everything else. Again, I'm not sure what this toughest of all time means. Clearly, you're not on a toughness list. You're not putting Rod Langway in front of Berube and Donald Brashear and Alan May. Again, we're defining it. Okay. Number 2, Dale Hunter. Hunter suffered a severe leg and ankle injury in the 86 season. It would be his final season in Quebec. Quebec shipped him to the Capitals that summer. Despite still being in a lot of pain from the previous season, Hunter only missed 1 game the first season with the Caps. Recorded 59 points, 240 minutes. He's ranked second in NHL history with 3,500 minutes. He's also the only player with 3,000 minutes and to go along with 1,000 points. Steve Konowalchuk spoke highly of Hunter. When I think of him being involved in the game, being tough and being there and sticking up for you all the time. He always felt safe and ready to go to battle playing together. Yeah, I mean, Hunter was one of those guys, man. I mean, 3,000 minutes, 1,000 points, great player. Big game Hunter. That's who you'd want on your team, man. The guy played forever. And yeah, I was never a Dale Hunter guy, but there's no denying. I mean, dirty as shit for sure. But yeah, he would, any means necessary. And he would cross the line if you had to do it. Should he be on this list? Yes, he should be on this list. Should he be in front of Donald? Again, the same thing. No, he should have been closer to 10 than closer to 1. I'm pretty sure I know who 1's going to be, considering this writer is probably about 22 years old. Number 1, he probably consulted Lazito about this. Number 1, Tom Wilson. If you would ask me 5 years ago, Tom Wilson would be number 1, maybe not even 2 years ago, but now with everything that's gone on from the fines, the suspension, lack thereof, there is no player everyone across the league loves talking about or loves to hate more than Tom Wilson. He lives rent-free in many opponents' heads. Well, that I actually probably agreed with. Last season, Wilson led the NHL in penalty minutes with 96. That's actually funny. Yeah. Yet, if you look at his career numbers, 96 penalties was ironically the second lowest of his career. So if he's in the box much less, why is he still a hot topic among non-Caps fans as horrifying acts of violence? Well, because you're all fucked. Tom Wilson wasn't afraid to lay out big hits, yet he's still fourth in the team last season in that category with 105. In his career, he has 1,700 hits to go along with 1,100 minutes. His offensive production has also started to increase over the last couple seasons. Like many to the core, Wilson enters a big season and will look to bring his A game opening night against the Rangers team that added a bunch of enforcers to try to take him down. There you go. There is your list with the sticks and stars, or top 10. Yeah, and again, I would actually probably have Wilson on the list at 10. No, that list was horrendous. I mean, I would have had Brendan Witt on there. I'm trying to even think. I mean, shit, I don't know. Tenorti, I don't know. I'd have to look through the Capitals off the top of my head. I don't know. It's late and I'm struggling, but I don't like. That was awful. That list, Kolzig and Matt Hendrick, and I like Hendrick. He's all right, but no. Oh, stop being silly. You know who's going to stop being silly? I'm going to stop being silly and get out of here. I'm tired. It's 10:30. I got to go to work tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning. So it never ends. 7 days a week. Maybe as much as I loathe having the snow, I know when the snow comes, I won't have 70-hour weeks anymore. So maybe I'll be happy about that. I don't know. I'm a little sadistic that way. Maybe the things we do to ourselves. But anyway, folks, I'm going to leave you. But yes, again, follow me on social media: Facebook, Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line. My DMs are open, as the kids say. And please, folks, Fourth Line Voice on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I have over 2,500 videos on there. Go down that rabbit hole. Check it out. You'll dig it. But please join me on the live streams, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern, Friday nights, for Fighting Fridays. Join the live chat. Talk it up. I'd love to hear from you out there. Come and watch some fights. I'll make a great playlist. Go back. We'll watch some minor league stuff. We'll watch some great junior stuff. And like on Friday there, I played Craig Berube's first pro fight, Rob Ray's first pro fight. Actually a really good Nick Kyprios, Rob Ray fight from the American League from the Hershey Park Arena. Troy Crowder down in Utica. We had lots of good stuff. So I encourage you to come check it out, please. And I think you'd have a lot of fun. Come down, watch some hockey fights on a Friday night. Put on your smart TV, get my giant fat head up in the screen there. And good times. But I don't know if this was good times or not. It's something. Maybe it's good times now that it's coming to an end. But I want to thank you guys for. I've gotten a couple DMs lately from listeners and people that have joined the live stream, and I really appreciate the feedback and that you guys. I know Scott's out there listening. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the live chat as well. Out in Fort Wayne doing things. Steve, I appreciate you stopping by as well and being an avid listener. I appreciate it. I still think you could do a bang up job on the show. Could you do worse than this? I think not. Like I said, you'd have to reach up to touch bottom. But anyway, folks, I'm getting out of here. This has been the Fourth Line Voice. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week. Actually, we'll see you guys on Friday at the live stream. I want to see you all there. Come join. It'll be fun. Thanks, guys.
And you people that don't like fighting, how many of you did you walk out and get a coffee while that was on?